Hello everyone, my name is Christy Asplin here with Treasure Yoga and Traditional Healing, and today we're going to be talking about meditation. So many people get discouraged or have a misunderstanding of what meditation is. So I'd like to just explain a little more in detail about meditation and what that is. So a lot of people tell me that they are not meditating correctly. They're not making it to that still or thoughtless mind. This is what most people think their goal is while meditating, is finding that still, clear mind, when that is more of a benefit, not a goal. So what is meditation? Meditation is a process of self-discovery, exploration, and transformation. Research shows that meditation can help improve focus and concentration, relieve stress and anxiety, as well as bring about feelings of calm and relaxation. Now you can meditate anytime, any place, and for any amount of time that you like. You can meditate for 1 to 5 minutes, and that is what I recommend you start with. But you can meditate as long as many hours, just depending on how you're feeling and how you're doing in your seat. Now meditation, it's also important to know that you can be seated crisscross like I am. You could also be sitting with your legs in a V. You could sit on your knees, or you could lie down on your back, or you could even sit in a chair. So it just depends on what's most comfortable for you, and any area you're going to be able to comfortably be still for that 1 to 5 minutes or up to 20 minutes is a normal amount of meditation. Now you can meditate with eyes closed or open, softly gazing downward. You could also meditate using props. So you see here today I'm using a pillow. This pillow is great, but I will show you another couple different types of pillows for different reasons you may want to use those. You can use an eye pillow to cover the eyes. You can use a blanket for warmth. And as I said before, you could be seated in a chair to be a little more comfortable. There are many different types of meditation, and I will both explain and demonstrate a few different types today. So the first one we're going to talk about is mindfulness meditation. Many people ask me, what's the difference between mindfulness and meditation? So when we're meditating, you're almost always being mindful. However, you are not always meditating while you're being mindful. So to expand on that, meditation is that process of self-awareness. So you're looking in at yourself. Where mindfulness is the process of being aware of your surroundings, your environment, what's happening right here, right now. Mindfulness is all about just that, the present moment, coming in to that feeling of here and now, being present with what's happening around you right this second. Now notice as we talk about both mindfulness and meditation, how it is considered a practice and a process. So these are things that are meant to come with time. We do not automatically sit down and be in the present moment without any effort. So don't expect or be hard on yourself when that doesn't come so naturally, so easily. It is very normal for it to take many days, months, or years to really feel like you're in the moment or meditating, being mindful, quote unquote, properly. So generally when you do a mindfulness meditation, you would be meditating on your breath, your natural breath patterns, or you could count your breath or bring in a breath exercise. So before we get into our mindfulness meditation, I will demonstrate a few different meditation positions, as well as how to use the props we discussed earlier. So my first demonstration here is sitting in a chair. Now this is a stool, an ottoman. You could use an ottoman, you could sit on your couch, you could do a kitchen chair, any chair that's comfortable for you. What you want while you're sitting in a chair is for your feet to be firmly planted on the ground, and you want your spine and your neck to be long and tall. Then you can have your hands either placed down on your thighs, and that's going to bring more of a grounding feel, a grounding energy. Or if you have your palms face up, we're going to have more of a receiving energy. So this is going to be more of a calling in information to come to you, or more of a grounding, soothing, relaxing. Your choice there, but as you can see, we can do a very nice meditation in a chair if that's what you prefer. Next, we're going to talk about how you can use a pillow for meditation. So as you saw before, I had that big, beautiful pillow. Now that pillow is great for a cushion. However, it is not going to elevate my hips. And that is the whole point of using a pillow as a prop for meditation. So if you can use a block, a pillow, a couch cushion, you can use anything that's comfortable, a folded blanket. I'll demonstrate today with a block. You just sit on that. And now, as you can see, my hips are slightly higher than my knees. This is going to create a little more relaxation, a little bit easier to sit in this position. Crisscross is not a required seated position, but this can make crisscross a little more comfortable for you. So you could sit on this block, you could bring in a pillow and sit on a pillow, or again, you could sit on a folded blanket. Anything that gets those hips just slightly higher than the knees. So the next prop we're going to talk about is how you could use objects for meditation. So sometimes people get a little bit discouraged or anxious about the idea of closing their eyes for 5 minutes. You don't have to close your eyes for meditation. So one of the meditations we're going to be doing today is called a gazing meditation. For this gazing meditation, what you would do is you're going to light a candle and you're going to gaze at the flame for the entirety of your meditation. So when you're using a candle for meditation, ideally you're gazing downward or at eye level. You wouldn't want to be looking up, as you can get some distraction coming in from visuals around you. Another way you can use objects for meditation is, say you have an almond or a peanut. I have that here. You could also use a rock or a raisin, any object whatsoever. For this meditation, you would close your eyes. Now for this meditation, you're going to hold the peanut in your hand and you're just going to feel every crevice, feel every line, feel everything that that object has to offer. Now when we're using, say, a rock, if you pick a rock that has more grooves and bumps and things going on, it's going to be a little bit more effective than, say, a smooth rock. Another thing you could do is have, say, a picture, a sculpture, anything, and you can do it just like we did the candle gazing. So this would be another gazing meditation. This is another object that you could feel. It's got a lot of grooves and crevices that are going to feel really nice as you run your fingers along with your eyes closed. And what that's going to do is allow the mind to stop thinking so much, stop worrying about your tasks for the day, or what you're cooking for dinner, or just different things that we often think about while in meditation. So being able to have something to run your fingers on brings the brain to focus on what's going on in your hands rather than what's going on in your mind. So another way of meditation we talked about is lying flat on your back. And the prop we'll use for this one is a blanket. Now you could also use the blanket while seated. I tend to cover up with a blanket as I'm seated for my meditations right here every morning. If you do like to lie on your back, then a blanket can be really nice, because as our body gets relaxed and calmed down, we tend to get cold. Our bodies chill down a little bit. So a blanket is highly recommended, especially for a lying down meditation. So you're going to lie flat on your back. When you do your meditation for lying down, you want to make sure your legs are about hip distance, and you have a couple of options here. Your hands can either be palms face up, arms away from the body for that receiving energy, or you can bring your hands, one hand to belly, one hand to heart, for a little bit more grounded energy. Another prop we talked about using is the eye pillow. So you can take the eye pillow and place that right over your eyes as you lie down for meditation. This can be really nice if you can't get into a dark space. Now this particular eye pillow can be used in any position because it does wrap around your head as well. So if you have a handkerchief or a scarf,
you can always use that to wrap around even while you're seated if the light is bothering you.
Now that we've discussed the different props you can use for meditation, I would like to talk about our thoughts a little bit. So many people come to me with the problem that they have too many thoughts while meditating. Now, it's important to know that thoughts are going to come in as you're meditating. The idea is not to forcefully push them away. The idea is not to empty your mind of thoughts. The idea is to stop the engagement, stop the expansion of the thoughts. So say you're meditating and you have a thought of, what am I going to cook for dinner? You want to leave it at that thought. You're not going to expand on maybe it'll be chicken and rice. You're not going to expand on what you need to get at the grocery store or how many dishes you need to do in order to get this task completed. You're going to allow that thought to come in, what am I going to make for dinner? And then you're going to simply focus your attention back on your breath or back on whatever type of meditation you're doing. Could be that gazing object, could be a mantra, could be your breath. So the thoughts are okay. It's what you do with those thoughts. Try not to engage the thoughts, not to expand on the thoughts. You're just going to let them drift away. All right, so now we're going to go for our first meditation together. This is going to be a mindfulness meditation. So gather any props you'd like to use and make your way to that comfortable seat or that lying down position. Next, what you're going to do, whatever position you're in, is you're going to lengthen in your neck and your spine. Really imagine you have a string pulling from your tailbone all the way up through the crown of your head, sitting nice and tall. Next, you'll either gaze downward or softly close the eyes. Then you're going to breathe your natural breath. You're not making any changes to your breath just yet. You're just breathing your own rhythm. Notice the patterns. Notice where the breath enters. Notice as your breath travels down your throat and into the pathways of your lungs. Notice as your breath travels up and out as you exhale. You're still not making any changes to your breath. You're just noticing. If you have any thoughts that come in, bring your attention back to your breath. Maybe it helps to count how many seconds it takes to inhale and how many seconds it takes to exhale. Now we will go ahead and continue your natural breathing for a few moments of silence. Continue to notice your breath in and out. If you liked that counting, you can continue counting. Otherwise, just close your eyes and breathe your natural breath for the next few minutes.